Hi
Hey,
everyone.
everyone. We waved in the exact same way there, and then we said, "Hey, everyone," at the same time.
Rubbing off, rubbing off
I
on each
know,
other.
I know. Tell me about it. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Grand. Really good. Yeah, I'm excited to be doing this. I'm a big fan of this deck, so I'm.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've noticed you've
yeah,
been using it a lot recently. I think I've seen it pop up in a few of your videos, your lives and things when you've done readings.
yep, yeah. I was using it on Thursday past. Oh, this is Thursday. A week ago. I was using it a week ago, and it worked quite well. I thought. It's a nice deck for reading with. Like you get lots of decks that are really kind of either nice art or whatever, but then they don't really read very well. But whereas I like this one.
Ah,
Spoiler.
cool. Spoiler alert, yeah. Should we do some hellos? There's a few people in. Now,
Brilliant.
actually, if I do it from this one, I'll catch everybody, won't I? So we have got Golden was the first one in. Nice to see you.
Yay.
And we've got MC from France. We have Petra and we've got Dustin from Modern Metaphysicae. Nice to see you, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
And we have Trisha and Tori, Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hey,
Nice to
Scott.
see you. And Karen, who's Care Bear. Nice to see Karen. Raven Song, hello. And the lovely Cheryl is here from Oneness Emporium. Cheryl's really excited. She messaged me the other night saying, I've got my Starman tarot at the ready.
I
um,
saw that.
Lily Rose, hello, Lily. And we've got Calla. Hello, Calla. Um, and we've got Susan. Susan, I've not seen you for ages. How are you? Must have been, gosh, I can't remember the last time I saw you. So lovely to see you. And we've got Marilyn and Saskia as well. So I think I've covered everybody.
Yeah, looks like
I
it.
think.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah. So Starman Tarot. So Throwback Thursday. Um, gosh, how long have we been doing this now? Is this like our 10th? Is it something like that? 10th month?
Is it? Is it
I know
really?
we
Wow.
started in the summer, didn't we?
Right. Aye, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
about May, so it will be. Yeah.
Oh, is it May? Wow, as early
I
as
think
that.
so. I
Gosh.
don't know.
Yeah. Time flies, doesn't it?
I know.
Um,
I know.
I need to get the notes up on my notes because I find it hard to switch from doing cup of catch up and having the setup that I have. Just before you popped on, I was like, no, the whole backdrop's wrong. I had to quickly go and change the backdrops and everything. So yeah, because normally on this I'll have the comments, but doing a multicast like this, it's easier, isn't it? Just to have it on there.
Yeah, on StreamYard. Plus, you can highlight comments on StreamYard and stuff, so it's quite handy.
Yeah. And this deck is a bit of a nostalgic deck for me. But I'm very different to you in terms of what you just said about it and how it reads and all that sort of stuff. When we'll
Right.
see that, talk about that when we get onto it. But
Okay.
this deck signifies for me, or it certainly takes me back to a huge transition in my life. I can remember the date, day, and everything when I got this deck.
Right.
Um, and it was. Do you remember when I took voluntary redundancy from a job I'd been in for like 15 years, and then I used that money to hire a car and go traveling around and all that?
Yep.
Well, I had a leaving party. We hired a venue and had a leaving party from my old job the day before I then kind of set off on my travels, and this
Right.
arrived on the day. And I
Oh,
did
wow.
this really quick kind of show and tell. I was like, I really can't stay. I've got to go and get ready to go to my leave and do. And I don't know, it was like it was money because it was quite expensive for what you get actually. Or I wouldn't advise anybody to get the luxury edition because the price you pay, you don't get that much more. I don't think. Um, but it was taken out of those funds, and and I knew that I wouldn't have time to even start looking at it till I got back from travels and things. But yeah, so certain things stick in your mind, and they
Yeah.
take you right back to a day in history, your own personal history.
Yep. Yeah,
That was
I actually watched that video before I bought this, so I did.
oh, did you?
So I did, yeah. Before it's almost 3 years ago I bought this because I had to check because that's one of the things we talk about is how long we've had it, and
Yeah,
I had to check back on when I did my YouTube walkthrough, and that was in April 2020,
yeah,
2021. Beg your pardon. Um, so yeah, I've had this about 3 years, but before I bought it, I watched your walkthrough. Because I
wow.
do that all the time. I'll always find a walkthrough if it's a deck I'm kind of humming and hawing about, and
And
I'll
do
see
you
if I
what?
like it.
Do you watch endless walkthroughs? Because like, I'm obsessing over the Ehrenberg tarot at the minute, and I think
Right.
I've watched every single walkthrough that's on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we can't get it yet because US games, the whole don't
Ah,
ship to the UK. So it's been out
right.
for a while, a month or two in the US, but it's not out here until April. Cheryl is going to be stocking. So I'm living vicariously for everybody else talking about this. Have you seen it? I know we're not talking about that tonight. I'm just going off on a tangent.
Is this the one that's very kind of a oil paintings type? Um,
It's the one where it's extreme close up, but still has the
oh,
symbols of the
right,
RWS deck, and it
right.
uses like the
I'm with you.
font of one of the. If you think of Aquarian tarot, and it's got what because that has multiple different kind of fonts. Uses like one of them, but yeah. So for instance, for like I don't know, for the Hierophant, you'll just see like the staff and the hand it just takes aspects of the
Uh,
card. It's like extreme close up, but it's fantastic.
yeah, I know the one you mean. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about that golden tarot. Do you know the one?
Yes,
That's
I
what
do.
I'm thinking of when I'm talking about oil paintings, just in case anybody's wondering. Um, but no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so the I did have it out actually the other day. Um, the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. I've purchased that from Cheryl. We're just waiting for it
Like,
to
yeah.
arrive. So because Cheryl's been able
Oh,
to get a handful of the linen ones, and I'm
right,
really glad I went through Cheryl because if you took a punt and got it anywhere else, you probably still get the glossy one because they haven't shipped to the UK other than
right,
via Cheryl. So
right, yeah. But Cheryl's magic, and she knows people in high places. So,
Cheryl's got connections. Have you noticed as well? And I think it's brilliant that wrenches are appearing on StreamYard now.
do you know it's funny? I was just going to say because this is the first I've ever noticed that.
I noticed
Um,
it on Saturday for the first time.
okay.
I
So
wish that
I
you could
want
still kind of assign, but you can't.
right. So I'm wondering. I can only see. So who are you seeing with a wrench right now?
Deanne, the lovely Deanne.
Right. Right. I think I'm seeing your wrenches because you're a wrench on my channel, but you're not shown as a wrench and your IO comment at the top. Not that it matters, I'm just geeking out a wee bit here because I've not seen this before. But yeah, I think because it's your StreamYard, I think I'm seeing the
Uh,
people that are wrenches on your channel.
right, okay. Or either that or you de-wrenched me, Chris.
As if I would do that. Gosh, the controversy that's connected to de-wrenching on YouTube.
Can you imagine that going around? Something's gone off. Something's gone off. Simon's been
I know.
de-wrenched.
I know. Have you ever done that though? Have you ever like been like in somebody's chat and you notice someone who's not got a wrench who you thought did, and you're like, oh, is there
Ooh.
scandal there? What's going on?
And you get that image of Angela Lansbury tucked into a popcorn.
Oh, it's so true. Oh, So Neils has said there's a few people that have popped in and said hi, but So Neils has commented on I think it's quite a few of our Throwback Thursdays recently.
Oh.
So hi, So Neils, I just want to say hello, and I'm
Yeah, and
probably pronouncing your name wrong.
everybody else that's come in as well. It's lovely to see everyone. Moon Daisy said, "I made a throwback live."
Somebody, by the way, Simon, your audio is mostly fine, but there's sometimes when it goes like a wee bit tinny.
Okay.
I thought it was just me, but someone in the chat said, is that happening for anyone else? So
Oh,
I think it's, for the most part, it's absolutely fine and we can hear you perfectly. But I'll let you know if it goes bad.
yeah. Because the only other option is to take the ear pods out, but then I think it creates feedback, doesn't it?
You'll hear me twice, yeah.
Because if I'm doing a cuppa and catch up, I don't have earpods in, and it's fine. But whenever I'm hosting someone, there's that echo all the way through, and it's dreadful. So I have to have them.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
The scandal.
Cool. Yeah. So let's see. I've had to kick off with some of the production information on this deck.
Yeah, because I think everybody now knows the kind of intro bit, don't they? Who we are, and what Throwback Thursday is now. And we've already said that what the deck of this month's going to be, which is Starman Tarot. At the end, we'll say what deck we're going to be looking at for next month and give a date for that. Oh, Tarot Destroyer's here, so if there's anybody, hello, Tarot Destroyer, nice to see you.
That's so random. Sorry, I'm getting fascinated just seeing what bullshit they're posting. But anyway, so yeah, we're here to talk about the Starman Tarot. This was released in 2018. I thought it was older than that, but no, 2018. The artists, the creators are David DeAngelis and Esther DeAngelis. So David DeAngelis does all the art, and the writing of the book was a joint effort between David and Esther. Published by, and obviously it goes without saying, but it's inspired by the art that he did for David Bowie during the Starman era. Is that the right thing to say?
Well, it was the 90s. So he did the
Right.
album artwork on, oh gosh, Earthling, which was I think 97, and Outsider, which was earlier than that. He did that. What Davide said was that he was influenced from an early age by 70s Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, because his mum constantly played David Bowie's music, and then he got to meet him in the 90s, and he worked on two of his album covers, which was cool. And they spoke in the mid 90s about creating a tarot deck, but it wasn't until after his death, and he had a dream, he said, and he saw the deck in his hand in his dream, and then him and Esther worked on it together.
Yeah. I was he's done a podcast interview that I was watching.
Oh, has
I think
he?
about a month ago. Yeah, he did a podcast interview with someone. and I was kind of do you know that way I had it on the TV whilst I was pottering about and cleaning the house, and yeah, it was quite good. The deck it's published by Los Carabeo. I take it Los Carabeo have done the same like your version as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's those Scarabeo.
Yeah.
There was 3 versions. What version did you get? Did you say you got the middle one,
This one.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks really cool with the pink
Yeah.
line bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's 3. There's a tuck box version, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is kind of you just get the deck, and I'm not sure if you get a little white book with it. There's this version which I think is probably a nice balance for me anyway in terms of just cost of it and what you're getting and stuff. I think the box is really cool, really unique.
Yeah.
The way that it's been designed with this kind of a lightning bolt and the way that it opens, and it's got this drawer, and the deck sits inside with the book on top. The book is pretty substantial. You're getting quite a bit of information, and you're getting color images of each of the cards. So there's just like an inclination of what you're getting. And there's some really good kind of it's a nice wee overview of tarot history and the idea behind the deck. It's got some good tarot spreads as well. I think the book is really, really well done. I'm quite impressed with it, particularly considering that it's 2018, and I know that we're in a time now where most decks that are being produced, they know that people like color images. Do you know what I mean in the book, and they know that we like descriptions of the cards and explanations of why it shows that. But I feel as though back in 2018, people maybe weren't as good with that. Whereas this kind of was, I don't know, almost before its time in that way. So yeah, pretty impressive book. And the cards are huge. They're massive. They're We'll do a comparison. So that's it compared to your standard US games. So you can see they're broader, but it's the height of them. They're a fair bit taller than your standard, and that actually does make them quite tricky to shuffle. Unless you've got massive hands, I do, and I can just about manage to overhand them. And they're a bit of a challenge to riffle shuffle, but you can manage it. Cardstock is quite glossy. You can probably tell by the way the light's reflecting off the card there. And I'd say the stock itself is reasonable. If you were a cardstock snob, this might annoy you. I don't think it's the best cardstock in the world, but it's by no means the worst. I don't know what GSM it is or anything like that. I'm not sure, but it's kind of I don't know. It does the job.
Well, I just opened my box and the cards went everywhere, all over the floor, and
Oh dear.
so yeah. What was the price point for your deck before I showed this one? Can you remember?
I think so. I don't know how much I paid for it, but I think it's around about in the 30s, £33 or something on Amazon just now. Cheryl, do you have this on Oneness Emporium? Because Cheryl might be actually be in a better position to tell us what the price point of the deck is.
Was this deck also released via Total Tarot? Is that...
Yes, yeah. So I've got 2 of it. I've actually got 2 copies.
So you've got
Because
a
I got one
box version.
Well, no. So it came just like just wrapped up in cellophane, but I got a bag with it.
Oh, cool.
So I think you can buy this online for about a tenner.
Yeah.
I got the deck in the bag, no book or anything, but obviously I already had the deck and book set, so didn't need a book.
Los Carabeo do some of those silk bags because I got the Nicoletta Ciccoli one.
Right.
Dustin says, I wish Total Tarot was available in the US. What was I going to say? Yeah, so from what I understand as well, the tuck box version, the cards are a standard tarot size. Is that right?
No, well, the one that I've got is the same as that. Is the same as these.
Okay, right. Okay. So I wonder if it's the same size throughout, because I saw somebody do a walkthrough, and I'm sure it just looked like a standard size tarot deck, but I could be wrong. So this one was the limited edition one, and it has the gold lightning flash. The design isn't brilliant for this box because, like I say, when you put it up, the cards kind of slip forward, particularly if you want to show like the top of the box. So that was the top. But this was £80, so it was quite a lot. But I thought, you'd open it up and there'd be all sorts of treasures inside. Not so. So you open it up and you get this kind of drawer and the place at the back. And there's two books really. So the first thing you get is a certificate. So Starman Tarot. This is 1557 of 3,000. So there's 3,000 of these made, and then it's signed by Davido. You get this little book, which is kind of a story of a vision. So it's an art book, really, and it's on foil, like metallic foil paper. And there's not a lot in terms of text in it. It's mainly just art. There's some text, as you can see. So quite nice, quite flashy. It's not very thick. And then the book is a hardback book. Let's go on the back. And in that, I don't know, comparing how much text you get, but again, you get the colour rendition of the card here. And then it does describe the scene and what's happening in the cards. I don't know if yours does too, but it will say, the powerful figure with the arms raised. So it describes kind of what's happening, as well as giving you your kind of upright and reversed meanings. So nice little book, but it's hard. And then the cards, I wasn't blown away by the card stock. Bit thin for my liking. But the only difference between the other versions and this version is that this one is gilded. So it's got the gold background. I think, is yours pink on the back to match the flash? Yeah. So this one then is gold, and you get the gold gilded. And again, in terms of size comparison, probably about the same. Would you say?
I think so. Yeah. That looks to be. Well, no, actually, I feel as though yours are,
larger. See, that's what I was thinking. There were three sizes. So I'm pretty sure the tuck box one is a standard tarot size.
Cheryl says it's not a tuck box, by the way. Cheryl says it's not a tuck box. They're in the Los Carabeo hard box.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the lift top one.
Yeah, must be. But all right, okay. So yours must be even more difficult to throw cards with the readings.
The thing is, as well, they do bow a little bit. I don't know if yours has started to do that, but not massively. I've seen worse, but
I think.
But yeah, they're huge. They're huge. I can I can't get my hands around it, but I'd have to shuffle that way.
Right.
On ways.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I know you've got probably got bigger hands than me, and I can definitely shuffle
Yeah.
this. So I
All
think
right.
that yours is definitely your deck's bigger than mine.
We won't
For all the
measure.
people who my accent sounds a bit funny when I say deck are going to absolutely love that.
Yeah, so am I. It's just good job you're not Kiwi, isn't it?
I know. Right, was there anything else I wanted to say about that? No, no, that was it. So I said that it's difficult to riffle shuffle. Oh, Simon, you're like shining the sun at me there. That gilding's reflecting back at me.
Was it? Oh yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
yeah, little Lady Galadriel fighting off Sauron, and if anyone's seen the
what?
Battle of the Five Armies, my Lord of the Rings geeks will know exactly what I mean. Um, right, so I've already said that I've had it for 3 years. So have you? When did you get yours, Simon? About 5 years ago.
No, yeah, no, nearly. Well, 5.5, just coming up to. So November of 2018. So I got it when it was released, really. Um, and like I said, I just thought, well, if for a penny and for a pound, I'll get the deal, see what we get. I didn't know much about it when I ordered it, but I'm a huge David Bowie fan, but particularly early Bowie. So because it was called Starman Tarot, I was expecting it to be quite psychedelic and Ziggy Stardust kind of esque. So yeah, and I just thought, wow, the crash, and David Bowie kicked off that terrible year, didn't he? Where we lost so many people during 2016.
Oh
2016
yeah,
was that year where just almost everybody went, Prince and just so even comedians like Victoria Ward that was so unexpected and Pete Burns and there was just one after George Michael, but it started with David Bowie in January, as Angie Bowie was in the Big Brother house, and and when he passed, it was such a shock. So it was just a couple of years later it took for this deck to come out. Geek? Who's a
yeah.
geek? Oh, the Goblin King.
Uh,
Yeah, and of course the whole Labyrinth connection with David Bowie.
like that, Liz is talking to me. That was when I was saying I'm my Lord of the Rings geek, so know what I'm talking about. Because I made the comment about you shining the light at me. Cool.
Yeah, so yeah,
So
got it in 2018.
brilliant. For me, I would say that it is a good all-round deck. If you can get on with busy decks like I've forgotten what it's called again. The not not Apocalypsis, but that's like it. What's the other one?
Oh, Illuminati.
Aye, yeah, Illuminati. That's it. I keep wanting to say Da Vinci, but that's because in the Da Vinci Code they talk about the Illuminati, or in one of those
Yeah.
films. Anyway, I'm digressing here. I need to bring myself back to back to centre a wee bit. If you get on with decks like that, then I think that you'll probably be able to work with this deck quite well. For me, it's a less is more. Like a few cards is probably quite good, but I think if you're like a Celtic Cross type person, or if you like big spreads like that, then I reckon this could get a wee bit overwhelming. It really just depends on what you're like. If you can look at a busy images like that, and you're quite happy, you can just take in what you need to take in and just leave the rest. Then you're probably fine. But I feel that it works better with smaller spreads. Is the kind of the impression that I'm getting working with it.
Yeah, so for me, I can't work with this deck for reading. Now, it's funny you mentioned Tarot Illuminati and Apocalypsis, because I did a video about a year ago about giving the deck another go, because one of my very early decks was Tarot Apocalypsis. I think it was like the second tarot deck I owned. And I let it go because I just couldn't connect with it. And then I saw somebody use it and I thought, do you know, I wish I had to let that go. And I brought it back into my collection and I did this whole video about, let's give the deck another chance. And I just couldn't, so I'm not going to let it go because it's part of my tarot journey and tarot history. For me, this deck is an art deck. I appreciate the images, and you talked about, like doing spreads and things, because these cards are so huge and I don't have a huge space for reading, that would be impossible for me anyway. But I find that this deck is so detailed and it's layer upon layer with the art and the symbolism that sometimes I look at a card and there's that much going on. In fact, looking at it through the screen, it actually looks less busy. You can see the central figure a lot more. But I'll look at some of these images and there's so much happening in them that my eyes can't focus. It's almost like, the magic eye pictures. I was determined that I was going to crack that. And I spent like a year just keep doing it until I got it. Now I only have to look at them and I can see the image straight away in a magic eye. But it really took training for my brain. This deck, because there's so much happening in the images, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. And for tarot, for me, I need that kind of instant sort of, Six of Cups. I know exactly what that's telling me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than look at the Six of Cups and think, I need to, what is that? And then you see a layer below that layer, and it's so built up that I really struggle with the energy of the deck. I appreciate it for the art and I appreciate it for what it is, in terms of the creator and the relationship with David Bowie and everything. But I just find it really difficult to work with as a tarot deck. So I'm happy that I've got it and I'll never part with it. But for me, this is more of an art deck that I can sit and look at the images and break it down and have a look at, what's going on in each of the images, because there's such a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It 100% does. I think there's some decks that are, that are good for your kind of a standard style reading, where you're just throwing cards and you're reading them there and then, and then there's some decks that are that are better for, like, so when I work from home, sometimes I'll pull cards in the morning and I'll sit my card or cards, either 1, 2, or 3 cards. I'll sit them just kind of in front but below one of my screens, and I'll just kind of I'll see them all day. I'll glance at them, and as I do that, more comes to me and I get new ideas. Do you know what I mean? So I think if you're in a position where you can do that, where you can pull cards and then set them up somewhere where you can just kind of glance at them and come back to them throughout the day, this is probably quite a good deck for that, even if you do find it too busy to be able to get something instant from it. But obviously, not everyone's in that position where they can do that, So yeah. I totally get what you mean.
Do you find as well, because I'm just like looking through it now, that I don't really, could you pinpoint the art style? Because in some ways I think I can see it feels quite kind of sci-fi in parts. In other parts, it's very futuristic. And then you can see kind of like street art, computerized art, photographic. And I just can't, if someone said, well, how would you describe the art? How would you describe it? Like you
I,
can see that looks photographic, that face, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. To me, it's like a bit of a digital collage, futuristic, abstract kind of a just explosion, but in the best possible way. Um, yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's quite difficult to describe. It's very
Yeah,
unique. I'll give it that. Like it totally does its own thing.
yeah, it does. And there's lots of kaleidoscopic um elements, isn't there? There was one I was looking at earlier, and I was like, that's like taking the image and then almost like in a kaleidoscope. And also like mirror imaging. So the lovers, for instance, you've
Yep.
got your lovers in the middle, but it's it's a mirror image. Even like these kind of shadowy bits at the bottom is exact mirror opposite. Um, but yeah, there was a couple of cards earlier, and I thought, wow, that's just like just reminded me when I was a kid. That's a little bit kaleidoscopic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does quite a lot of stuff, and in some ways, I just think, oh, I just wish it was just toned down a little bit, just so I could focus more on, I don't know, just the main element of the deck, of the image, should we say.
Yeah.
What are you
No, I,
chuckling at?
I know what you mean. Cheryl. Cheryl says, I'm presuming lots of LSD was taken during the creation process.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's where I'm at, like the street art as well. There's kind of elements of that within the artwork.
yeah.
I mean, it's incredible, really. And as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I do think it's probably one that, like you said, if you really got time to sit, and not all cards are as busy. Some, you know, some are a lot less busy. But I think if you've got really have got that time to sit with this deck and just just go beyond all the different layers. There's so much. You'll see a surface level, and then you see kind of below that and around that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Have you got like favourites that you've put together?
No, what I thought I'd do this time is just kind of show them and add my thoughts as you go through
Right.
yours. Is that how I don't know you're going to pick out ones that are your favourites from these. I mean, I've got some that
Right.
I look at and I think I really like that. I really particularly love the death card in this deck.
Right.
I think it's epic. Star card is another one. So yeah, there's quite a few, but not enough to say these are my favourites.
Right. Okay. Well, I've picked out a fair few favourites. I've got some that I, I don't dislike them actually. There's one that makes me chuckle because I'm immature. And there's two that I feel should be the other way around. But
Are
I'll talk about
you
my favourite. Sorry.
are you seeing penises again, Chris?
No, not that. Well, no spoilers here. So I'll talk about the ones that I like first, and then
Then we'll
I'll
get to the
show you
penis
what I'm
cards.
talking about with the other ones.
Okay.
So do you want me just to chat and
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
right? So hang on, let me get zoomed in and get the light on. Yeah. Right. So my first one I've got here is the Sacred Clown. Now the reason I like that is because it introduced this idea to me of the Sacred Clown of the Heyoka, or however it's pronounced. This kind of a character who would just the complete opposite, really contrary, the complete opposite for what everyone else is. So if it's a really roasting hot day, then this person would be shivering and putting on layers and acting as if they're cold, and vice versa. If it's a freezing cold day, they'd be stripping off. And I think it brought a new kind of element to the idea of the fool for me. Just this idea of being completely contrary to everything else, and um, I think the idea is they force other people to question their own ideas. So we normally think of the fool as being like the complete innocent, the clean slate, like is the fool that's got everything to learn type thing. Whereas this to me puts a different spin on it because it's like it's forcing other people to assume that position, if that makes sense. Um, I love the Starman just because I think it's iconic. The image, it's what we have on the front of the deck. It's Bowie himself. I just think it's a stunning card.
Do you have two versions of the Starman?
No, I've only got the one.
So I think it must have been in this deck then. So there's two versions. The only difference, the only thing that really stands out, which I found a little bit annoying, is this version of the Starman is in pink and every other title is in gold.
Oh,
But I love this. This is like you say, a Bowie himself. But I just love the position he's sat in the lotus position, and yeah, it's just quite beautiful. And I think I prefer that. But I mean, this version is great, but I like the close up, and you can see, his face there more clearly.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really nice. The alien, I like. I actually like how he's changed the name. That's one of my overall thoughts on this deck is I actually quite appreciate the name changes because I like what they've done with it. They seem to have kind of thought it through and they've done it well rather than just changed it on a whim. Um, Justice I like because it's one of the images that does kind of you can get something from it straight away. So we see the heart in one hand and the brain in the other. So it's this idea of weighing up your head against your heart, which I think is really cool. I just love this hanged man image because I think
Yeah,
there's just something different about it. The colours, it kind of it feels different from the rest of the deck almost. Two of Swords, again, I love it. I love this idea of the person is like in two minds about something. They're almost being split in two. Let's see. We've got the Three of Swords, so there's quite a lot of imagery on the Three of Swords, but like when I kind of break it down, we do kind of get the person who's sitting with their hood up and we see the heart here. So if you're used to reading the Three of Swords as like heartbreak or sorrow or something like that, then you can totally get that. But we also have the what type of bird is that, Simon? Do you know? Is it a falcon, an eagle? I'm not sure.
Two of Swords and
The
someone
three.
ones,
This is the
haven't you?
Three of Swords.
Three of Swords. Yeah, it looks like a falcon.
Right.
Peregrine. Is it a
So
peregrine falcon?
it could well be. Um, it's a powerful air animal anyway. We also have this kind of a crack in the floor and then this light inside. And this kind of makes me think of like, it's like a breakthrough. Um, and it's a difficult experience, we're having to kind of like literally break through the floor. But when we can do that and go into that dark, scary place, there's light there, there's like new information, there's new understanding. Um, so I can actually get my version of the Three of Swords from this card, as well as the kind of the more sorrow, that side of it.
Just says in the book it was a hawk.
Oh, hawk, right, okay. This again, the colours are really cool. Just the blue against the red, I think, is really striking. The Seven of Swords, I love this because it's like, because I think of the Seven of Swords as thinking outside the box card, right? And we have like what looks like a box with the glass is broken through. So that's perfect for me. So it is like that's really cool. See, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think the Ace of Pentacles is really nice. I just love the imagery and the idea of it being a seed. It has all of the potential, but it needs to be tended to. It's something that you need to work at. So this isn't someone handing you, this isn't a lottery win. This isn't someone handing you like, I don't know, something that's going to last you for the rest of your life. This is like an investment opportunity, or it's something that you need to kind of take and tend to it and work on it and develop it. If you're going to make something of it. Let me see. I think I've got the Three of Pentacles here. I think again it's just the image that kind of really struck me, and I love the sacred geometry in the background. And yeah, that was really. There was a couple of other favourites I had, but it was just more because I like the pictures.
Yeah, and I think that's all I can go on is like I like the pictures because of the artwork. I think the Emperor is fantastic. I think it's a really powerful Emperor. It almost as that kind of Aztec theme. I mentioned the Lovers, but I think the Lovers is really beautiful. It kind of reminds me of like a Hindu deity kind of artwork.
Yeah.
But in this, and even though I said it was like a mirror image, it's like two halves of a whole, really, which I think is brilliant for the Lovers card. And even in the reflection in the water from the ones above, it's beautiful symmetry that's going on there. I love the Strength card. I love the position of the lions and their open jaw and one closed. It reminds me of that kind of dialogue of when you think of the Strength card and looking into the beast, taming of the beast, but like when one is speaking, the other is listening. That whole sort of mentor disciple kind of aspect. I mentioned earlier, I love the Death card. I think the Death card is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. I mean, Davide is really talented. No denying. Did you mention the Star? I think you did, didn't you? The Star card is probably one of my favorites in the whole of the deck. I think it is stunning.
Yeah.
I'd probably love that as a piece of art. I also love the Moon, even though it reminded me of a very sort of sci-fi. As I said, it's doing a lot of different things. What else did I really like? I love the Two of Cups. I love this kind of street kind of trying to get it where there's no shine because it's quite glossy as well, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I think that is beautiful for Two of Cups.
Yeah.
Where else were we looking at? Seven of Cups. I think I like that because it's less busy. I can focus on it, but it's still a really, really powerful image. Where else? There was a couple of others I wanted to show. The Princess of Pentacles is epic. Love the Princess of Pentacles. And then there was another. Where are you? Don't tell me I've gone past it. Yeah, so I wanted to make reference to this because when I mentioned the Starman card at the beginning, it was very almost identical to with me the four of swords.
Right. Okay.
And they've just obviously there's no swords in the Starman card. And then here it is. the Eight of Swords. What a perfect Eight of Swords.
Yeah, I love the kind of a dolls, kind of a, it's got, what am I trying to say? The doll
Like
within the doll within the doll.
the Russian dolls.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
hate them. I hate dolls. What's that joke? So full of themselves.
Oh, very good.
That was a dad joke if ever I've told one.
I know. A few people had asked for to see the moon card again, so I've put it on the screen just in case you're wondering why I randomly put that there.
Let me embiggen you then, so you can get a good look at it. See it in more detail there.
Yep.
It's almost
nice,
like 1984. I get 1984 vibes from it. Where Big Brother's face is on the screen, and it just kind of reminds me of that. Oh, Adam's here as well. So, hi, nice to see you.
Hi, Adam.
Oh, that is stunning. He said, "Yeah, this is Starman tarot. If you just arrived, which is by Davide De Angelis, who worked with David Bowie on a couple of album covers in the 90s. Outside was 95, it's just come to me, and Earthling was 97, and he worked on both of them."
Cool. Right, shall I show you these non-favourites that I'm talking about?
Yes, I'm intrigued.
Right, the two that I feel as though are the wrong way around, or it's the 4 and the 5 of Cups. It's more so that I feel like the 4 of Cups looks like a 5 of Cups. This person doesn't look like they're overindulging, or they're living in luxury, or whatever whatever the 4 of Cups is to you. This looks like someone who's going through that difficult 5 of Cups energy. And on the other hand, this, I know we kind of see the spilled cups, we see just a hand here, but we don't really get that grief, that bereavement, that that pain, that loss from it. I feel we get that more from here. So that was just something that strikes me about this. And I mean, even in the hand, there's a heart in the 4. So yeah, that's to me was more 5-ish. Right, this is where my immaturity kicks in. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm talking about?
Show me which one we at. Show me the.
This is
bottom.
the 3 of Wands.
3 of Wands. Hold on, I need to have a close-up look because I don't see anything instantly with this deck. I mean, it's very 3 of Wands-ish.
It is.
In terms of him, but what am I looking at that you're seeing? What are you looking at?
Can you not see? But look, I'm holding it up close. Look, what does that look like to you?
What, between his legs?
Yeah, does that not look like he's got that stuck up somewhere?
I never would have.
It genuinely does. How can you not see it?
Because
Donna can see it. Donna's with me.
Because I think it's because I'm seeing it in perspective. They're all in a row, look. It's not just there. It's there, and it's. Oh, I'm going the wrong way because everything's reversed, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not. There's a couple of them. Look.
It's genuinely.
Listen, I'm with you on Shimmer and Veil. I'm not sure about that one.
Right, what do people in the chat think? So
you want the
they're
validation,
struggling to be fair. Right? No, I'm not. I would actually rather, because I wouldn't want to put people off a deck, right? So I would rather people said what you said. Do you know what I mean? Just said, yeah, fair enough, but I don't see it. But I know Donna can see it.
Poor placement. Yeah.
Yeah, Tory saw it
Tory
immediately. Right, okay. It's not just me, at least. Um,
Chris and Donna have dirty minds together since 2024.
oh gosh, it's been since way before that, Donna. Um, yeah, that was all the kind of a favourites that I had to share. Um,
So
so yeah,
I guess from people in the chat, firstly, how many people that are here have this deck? Just put yes if you've got this deck, because I'd be really interested in doing a bit of a straw poll. Uh, I don't usually see things like that. We believe you. So Cheryl's got it. I'll just see if there's anybody else that's got it as well, and then we'll do a bit of a loose karma has it as well. So there's a couple of people so far in the chat. So do you use it and enjoy it? Do you find it easy to read? Or like me, do you find it difficult to work with? What's some of the thoughts from people who've got it? Can't get anything past you, Chris.
if there's a rude inference or a rude joke to be seen somewhere, then I'll probably see it.
So you're getting a bit of a rep now, aren't you, for finding things that look like phallic kind of symbols.
Yeah, yeah. It's a talent.
So Cheryl says, I use it, but only for small spread or one card pulls. Yeah, maybe I should have perhaps just pulled a card at a time and, like I say, really kind of focused on it. I just find it. It's often people have often described it as noisy. I don't know if that's part of the sense, but just it's very busy, and I get overwhelmed by it. Do you know what I mean? I think I can't get that sort of instant. What's the title again? Starman Tarot. It's a low Scarabeo deck, um, and it's based on David Bowie, Starman. The problem is once people like us see it, we can't unsee it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, loose karma's agreeing. It's beautiful, but a bit too loud for me to use a lot of the time. I have to be in the right
Yeah,
mood. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that as well. I think I've got to be in the
and
right mood for any tarot deck, to be honest with you. There's sometimes when I'm, Simon, close your ears, when I'm not even in the mood for an RWS. Do you know what I mean? So
that's
I
really
think I've got to
really
be in the right mood
interesting.
for anything. Yeah,
So when
definitely.
so that fascinates me. So
Yeah.
would you think though that if you're not in the mood for tarot, that's when you should pull tarot,
No, no, what
or
I'm saying
what?
is, so there's sometimes when I think I've got to be in the right mood for, for any kind of, like, I'll always be able to find a deck that I want to use. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that's quite nice and a wee exciting bit of the morning is thinking, oh, what deck do I want to use today? But there are definitely some days when I'm not in the mood to use this, but equally there's some days when I'm not in the mood to use like a basic TDM or Smith Waite. Do you know what I mean? Like, I, I don't know.
Um, yes, I don't. It's the Starman Tarot. It's by Davide De Angelis and then his partner Esther De Angelis with the book. And he was the artist who worked with David Bowie in the 90s. And then after David Bowie died in 2016, he had a dream. And in the dream, he was holding the tarot deck in his hand. And then he woke up, discussed it with his partner, and decided. Somebody asked earlier, I forgot, sorry, who it was, but somebody asked earlier, I wonder what David Bowie would have thought to this deck. And that's really interesting. I think we talked about that at the time when people getting this deck. Um,
Mm.
whether it's the vision, because David Bowie was aware that Davide wanted to create a tarot deck with him, and they talked about it in 1995. The idea, when he worked on his first album, Outside, the idea of creating a tarot deck, and so there was at the discussion stage, but it just didn't take off for whatever reason. It didn't take off, and then it was revisited again in 2016. So I wonder. I really wonder. Oh, Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Nice to see you.
Stu's here as well. Hi, Stu.
Carla says, I think that word can be problematic for me, aside from other considerations. It's just problematic, full stop, isn't it, really? And what's a good price for new? You were talking about a price earlier, weren't you, Chris?
Yeah, Cheryl answered that. So she says that the this version, I think she said, is £34, which to me is pretty decent for what you're getting, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. But then there's a smaller one than that, isn't there? And show us, and that's in the hard kind of low Scarabeo box. Is that still available as well?
Yeah, but I think she says that's 33. So to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, may as well get that one. If I'm being totally honest, I don't even know if there's only a few thousand of these ones made. Knowing what I know now, what you get, I wouldn't spend £80 on the deluxe edition just for bigger cards and gold gilding. Because your book looks just as good, so I would go with that one. So next month we are going to be looking at the that you Mega Mundan. I was like, what are you going on about? I think mine's the one that's got the fault on it as well. It was one of the early ones. I think I've got the one with the swords, where there's 5 and 6 of swords, I think. Got the same amount.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I didn't know that. I wonder if I'm the same.
This is everywhere. I saw this on Sunday in a shop in Matlock. Urban Outfitters. No, what are they called? Is it Urban Outfitters? It is, isn't it? The shop.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they sell it. It tends to be in a lot of places. So Tattoo, Tarot, Ink and Intuition. So the first Thursday of next month will be, he says, quickly going to his calendar. Will be Thursday the 4th of April. Can you believe it?
4th of April. Wow.
Oh, I'll find it. Yeah, did Cheryl say she stocks it?
I'm not sure. She's not said. Cheryl, do you stock? Oh, Starman. Yeah, she stocks. Sorry, yeah, she stocks Starman.
So I was going to say, Cheryl's not a mod, and I don't know how I can make her a mod from in here, but because she could have posted the link to it, and then that would help you, Adam, find the deck. Because Cheryl's a UK stockist, and doesn't charge for postage or anything, and it's great, the service she provides. So, but I can always send you the link or post it on one of your videos if it'll allow me to post a link on one of your videos. How can I get in touch? Well, Oneness Emporium. Let me put a link to the shop, because I can just go to. It's going to come up straight away because I use it all the time. Here we go. Oneness Emporium. That's it. Copy and paste. There you go. So there's a link in the. Oh, you done it as well. We both did it at the same time. Yeah, so there's a.
I didn't do it. I
It
didn't
says
post
it says
anything
you
there.
have.
I know I can see
So if I
that, but I
post
didn't.
some, I was like, why are we doing that at the same time? So if I post a comment, it now comes from both of us.
Do you know what it is? It's coming up as
It has.
me on my channel and you on your channel, isn't it? Because you're signed in as you're signed in through my channel on your StreamYard because of the way we've done it. So
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
that's never done that before, has it?
Well, I don't
What if
think
it's a
you
new
have you
thing with the mod?
posted in the StreamYard chat before?
I can't know if I've done it in this or yours, but that's great to know that it goes to both.
Yeah, aye. When I post in the StreamYard chat, it goes to both as well, but it comes up as me on both of them. So if I click hi,
Right.
it's going to come up as though I've said it twice. I've said it on my
Oh
channel and I've
yeah,
said it on yours.
but mine doesn't.
The yours comes up, it's me on my channel and you on yours.
Yeah.
So use it wisely. Don't be don't be saying horrific things pretending it be me.
Oh, the power. Then I can just delete my one.
Yeah, you could.
I could put something like really offensive and then delete it from mine. It just looks like it's come from you. Oh, hi, Ramon.
Uh,
We're just heading off
hey,
now.
Ramon.
So, yeah. So, 4th of April, we'll be doing the Tattoo, Tarot, Ink, and Intuition. Have you got anything coming up, Chris, that you want to let people know about?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel. Do you know? I think Deanne and I are going live together at some point, and I
Oh,
want to say that
cool.
it's towards the end of the month, but I need to clarify. Actually, I need to check with her because I asked her and then didn't put it in my diary. So, Deanne, if you're in the chat, let me know. But yeah, I'm going live with Deanne potentially in a few weeks' time. Other than that, nothing big planned. I'll just be doing my usual kind of a lives. Um, I've got some exciting stuff coming up in real life. So I think I'm going to try and visit. So if you know Elaine, from if anyone knows Elaine from Celtic Roots Tarot, Elaine works in a kind of a witchy type shop here in Scotland, and I'm going to try and visit her. So I am. So I've got that planned.
That
I
would be cool.
am,
I've met Elaine and she's lovely.
yeah,
She put me up in her camper van when I was traveling. When I was talking about traveling around, first place I
mhm,
went to was Edinburgh, and she put me up for a
yeah,
couple of nights, I think it was, and yeah, it
yeah,
was lovely spending time with her.
yeah. Well, just as a wee funny story for everyone before we go. So I had been messaging Elaine at Celtic Roots Tarot, and I'd noticed that she had the shop, and because Simon had told me that story, what he's just said, he told me that story before, so I always had in my head, oh, Elaine's lovely, she's really nice, can't wait to meet her, all that kind of stuff. And a couple of weeks ago, I was messaging Elaine, and I was like, we arranged it. We says, right, I'm going to come and visit you at your shop. Brilliant. So then I messaged Simon here, and I was like, guess who I'm going to see? Elaine from Celtic Roots Tarot. And he was like, who's that? So I was like, what serial killer have I arranged to go and meet? It's not Elaine. But then we did some digging and it turns out that it is Elaine. It is the same Elaine after all. So I'm fine. I'm not going to get abducted or anything. It is Elaine who is lovely and all is
It's
fine.
it's just that I'm pants with Instagram, so I think Elaine uses Celtic Roots Tarot more on Instagram because she's not a YouTube content creator. So, and when Elaine used to be in YouTube in terms of commenting, she wasn't that title. So I was like, well, who's that? Not that I've forgotten her or anything.
No, I know, but yeah, you made me panic, so you did.
Tricia said,
Yeah,
will you vlog it?
I probably won't vlog. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a vlogger. And I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, and I don't know if Elaine would either. So I'm sure I'll take a wee selfie or something and post it on Insta. But
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
don't think I'll do a video.
And then I thought this was really nice. I've stumbled across this and it's great. It's like a book club for tarot. There's not too much focus on tarot here in New Zealand. So thank you for doing this. That's lovely feedback. Thank you,
Yeah,
here. All right. So thanks everybody. It's
right.
been lovely to hang out. I'm hoping a deck will arrive this week that I purchased from across the pond. It was shipped a few days ago. So, but if not, well, we're all on Thursday, aren't we? It'll probably be next week. I'm back on Saturday for Cuphead catch up. But other than that, I'll be popping up over the next week or so. And we'll see you all on the 4th of April.
Yeah.
Take
See you all
care.
then. Thanks
See you
everyone.
later.
Bye bye.
Bye.